Well, hello and welcome back to another episode of Mr. Das P1's Gold Rush. And there is no gold rush. Look at it, there's snow all around here today. It's freezing cold and it's the 16th of December. On this video today, we're back up in Scotland and we're out with, I don't know how to say it all the time, but it's the Aur Prospector, A-U-R, which means gold in Welsh. So let's take you way back to summer when it was nice and warm. The evenings were super long and we went to Scotland with the Aur Prospector in search of the good stuff. So here's the video and I hope you enjoy it and thank you for watching. And there wasn't much gold to be found, but the locations we're getting to are absolutely fantastic. Well, hello, and we're back at another river doing a wild camp and a little bit of gold panning. And there's someone over there who you'll all know. He might give us a wave. He's my neighbour, but he's some distance away. And there's the Aur Prospector. He's giving us a wave. Hello! We might meet up later. I've got to get my camp set up and get my tea made. And we're out with Stinky Boy, who's been in the river already.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of Mr. Das P1's Gold Rush, and we start today's episode back in Scotland. And yes, it's another wild camp at a fantastic location. So when I set up the camp, it was time to make tea, and I had a fantastic feast on the go. We set the evening off in proper camping fashion, where I later sampled some lovely Scottish whisky as I watched the night sky get darker and darker, before it was time for bed. And as the sun rose in the morning, it was time to have a good old hearty breakfast.
So, I have to put this one on because they'll be really biting out there today.
And because we're in Scotland, you've got to accept it. You're going to get bit by the midges.
Yeah. Cheers. It's cooked, it's warm.
And so anyway, the early morning mist cleared. We had blue skies again, so it's time to get the kit bag out and head into the hills.
Down there.
Yeah. We've been joined by the man himself, Mr. Is it Aur or Aur? Aur Prospector.
And no sooner had we said hello to each other, the Aur Prospector, he set off up into the higher reaches of this beautiful valley.
So it's a perfect day to go and do a bit of gold panning. So come on, let's get into the hills. Come on, lad. This is a fantastic little walk. And again, if you had your backpacking tent, your lightweight kit, a couple of gold pans and a small sluice, you can walk up here and find some perfect pitches. Looks like a prospector up there. What a fantastic V-shape there. Look at that beautiful little pool there. Oh, he's going in. He's doing really well. I won't be able to walk him too far up here. It's quite warm as well. All this kit on your back, it makes it a challenge, but I can see the Aur Prospector just ahead. He's got some kit in that backpack.
Yeah, I'm not used to this heavy one.
I think he's got more than me today. So I had a chat with Jason there, and he's got his own methods, his own styles. They're good as well. He's read the river, he's going to prospect a little section there. So hopefully he'll find a few specks. I'll go see how Steve's doing just further upstream. How's it going, Steve?
Slow.
You don't mind being filmed here?
So we met Steve the night before, and he was doing a well camp himself up here. And when he saw Jason, he couldn't believe his luck. So we all agreed to take a hike up this burn today and try and find some of the good stuff. And you might notice Steve in a few more videos coming up, and he's also featured in some of the videos already.
Oh, we're sluicing.
We are.
A nice little section here with several drop-offs. Nice little layer there. I think he's gone through 2 layers there maybe. What a beautiful location this is. It's a fair hike, but it's just brilliant. Okay, let's have a look at the kit I'll be using today. Suction pump. I've never mastered the art of going lightweight, just can't do it. Carrying cameras and stuff and tripods. That's all my basic stuff, food and water and what have you. One little spade. My trusty sluice, I like that one. Always take some gloves. A few gold pans, you never know. You can always pan into a pan, and a classifier. Little crevice bar, scraper, and a scoop. I never leave home without one of them. Before I get into the crevices.
So before we start, let's take a look at the map of the geology in this area. And you can see roughly where we're located, highlighted in pink. And the general bedrock at this location is made up of wake, which is a strongly bonded sandstone sedimentary layer. And there's also a sedimentary layer of siltstone, formed between 458 and 449 million years ago in the Ordovician period. There's also a North Britain dike suite nearby, which was highlighted on the map. And the bedrock here is of an igneous form, and the whole area has been extensively mined for centuries, where it's reported that 400,000 tonnes of lead was processed, 10,000 tonnes of zinc and 25 tonnes of silver. There's also alluvial gold in the river, and that's what we're hoping to find today.
So the sluice there looks pretty good. I just like the idea that I can see the top mat with a nice flow of water. So looking around, we've got a nice drop off. We have got bedrock coming across. Probably be interested in moving some of these bigger rocks, going down to them gravels, where hopefully the bedrock might reach a crevice at the bottom. I've now just done 3 small buckets. I've tested behind that rock just here. I've tested a sample layer here, and I've gone onto this bedrock where you can see where I've worked out there on the side of the channel of the flow with the small pump. I can't see anything on the top mat, to be honest. So that's why I've done these sample areas. We have got quartz in this area. I can see a piece there actually. So that's the kind of stuff that's in the river. It's quite heavy, that one.
And so just to recap, the whole idea of moving some of these larger boulders is to get to the bottom, somewhere near the bedrock, and hopefully find a few specks of gold that have lodged themselves over time. And if we look at the burn from a more practical perspective, here are some of the reasons why I chose this spot. First of all, we have a drop-off point with a small plunge pool forming, and the water here will be at its deepest, where the nuggets or pickers could possibly come to rest at the lowest point on this section. Also, when the burn is in flood, most of the materials being carried in the flow will bounce over, forming a gravel layer or a deposition layer. Other likely spots could also be the area to the right at this section, and also where I'm currently sitting in the photograph. Another nice looking spot would also be behind this bedrock outcrop, which would create a low pressure zone for the heavies to collect. And finally, any crevices in the area are always worth a good clean out. But anyway, enough of all this talking, let's get back to the river.
I can't see any specks on there at all. And you don't seem to get that black sand here either. But we are prospecting. We're in a fantastic location and there is gold around here. He's got to find it. To do a clean up, I'm going to fill this pan with water. And all you people out there who are avid panners, you know what the process is. But it's just in case you're a wild camper and you fancy doing something else with your adventures, let's show you what it's all about. And so whenever I get the sluice out of the water, I'd like to have a quick look, a quick inspection. Lots of crushed quartz in there. And I can't see anything.
And so with this sluice, having had a quick look, it's time to take out that green mat. You roll it up, you put it in the pan, and eventually you wash out all of the heavy materials that are left inside there. And likewise with the sluice box itself, you just use gravity and wash down all the material into the bottom of the pan. And hopefully any gold that's been trapped will be waiting there for you to pan it out.
So that's what a few small buckets look like after you've sluiced all the lighter materials away. Well, after all that, I've got one super duper diddy speck. Will this show up? Because right on that edge there is a micro diddy speck of gold, just there. So it's not worth doing here. But we have got some gold to show you, because I've not emptied the snuffer bottle out from the last trip. So That's what I've found so far. Right, shh. Let's go and see Jason's reaction to this. I'll be honest though, because obviously it's not from here. Right, Jason, come and have a look at me clean up. Come and have a look. You don't know. Check that out.
Wow.
No.
No?
That's me clean up from the other river.
Oh.
That's not from here.
Oh.
Sorry. I'm pulling his leg.
Yeah.
No, that's the kind of stuff you get there though.
Is that yellow stuff?
That's the mixed in yellow stuff.
Yeah.
But you get that every pan.
Right.
Here it's not the same, is it? It's not like that.
No, it was none.
No.
Any good?
Well, that's my first clean up.
What the?
No.
He's on the wind up.
We're having a wind up. So Jason and Steve, they're going to go further upstream. They found a nice little spot that has potential. They're going to prospect it now. Whereas I've done enough here now. I'm happy to walk away from this. Right, well, I've moved further on downstream. I've done a test pan in this gravel bar here. Nothing at all. So besides that test pan there, I've worked along here, all these little channels. I've gone quickly because I'm seeing if there's specks there. I'm finding nothing. I've worked along there as well. So I'm going to move further on down. I even took a sample and scratched here.
And so at this stage, I decided to walk back to the tent because it was time for lunch. And between the three of us, the river gods weren't giving us the gold today.
I'll tell you what, it's got a bit fresh now. There's a cold wind coming straight up the valley. It's gone quiet down there too. There's no campers there and all that noise.
And that's because people were playing music so loudly the night before.
It's time for a bite to eat, and today I'm on my third favourite. Tuna and tomato sauce. And I made these earlier on. Not bad.
And after lunch, I decided to give the main river a little prospect, and it was literally just down the embankment from the tent. So as you can see here, I'm working some gravels, I'm doing a few sluice runs, and hopefully we'll find a few more specks of gold. Now I also met up with Danny Weir, who's a local legend in these parts, and he was talking with Jason whilst we were here, and he spoke about how you need big floods to get the gold moving again, which might explain why we weren't having much luck, because it really is heavily worked, and all the likely spots, they've been thoroughly cleaned out.
From a quick catch up, I've moved location. I've been working in that crevice there. I'm nearly at the bottom, but one speck per 3 buckets, it's not good. Probably been hammered. You can see where you got the first crevice, second crevice, and a flow off into there. And I've got one speck of gold that's visible for you, so come on. This might be the piece that saves this video. I'm pointing at it there. That's the shiny piece on the top mat. Maybe another piece next to it actually. So we can now make a gold panning video with some gold you can see in it. I've just had a session down here, scraping away using the small yellow snuffer bottle, this one here, getting in there and going down that crevice. You can see a few stringers there, but there's nothing in there at all. The only thing I'm finding is a bit of lead. There you go. Them 2 pieces of lead. So the heavies are coming down here, but there's just no shiny. Right, well, I'm going to call it a day. I don't think there's much gold along here at all. But I'm not going to complain, because just to be here, it's beautiful. It really is a spectacular place. So we've got to clean up. There's your lead there, and then piece of gold and 2 more small pieces there, so that's better. It's by far a long way off brilliant, but this place has been hammered. So this is the final clean-up from the sluice. Now we have got gold, and there's about 5 or 6 super duper small pieces. So we've got a piece there, one there, really fine small gold, and then we've got some lead, a nice shard of lead there, pieces down there. So the pitch looks like a bomb's hit it. Let's go and see how the Aur Prospector's getting on. On it! Go on, Jason, how's your tent looking?
Mango special, quality zips,
He's zipped.
paracord and duct tape.
Let's have a look. Oh my word.
Didn't let any water in though.
Has it worked?
Yeah, it didn't let any water in. I think it would have if I hadn't the tape.
Like you say, he's an outdoor adventurist.
My sewing skills with a paracord.
That's pretty good, that. I'm impressed. So we think we're going to go somewhere else today because we need to find some gold, put it in the pan for you to see. Because he's got a spec. Well, you've got a good spec, haven't you?
Yeah.
And I've got diddy specs, and it's not enough really. And here we have the lesser spotted Welsh gold panner in Scotland. AUR, which means Welsh in gold, which means gold in Welsh.